Welcome to another edition of Keys to the Game. Sideline analyst Chris Level, color analyst Mr. John Harris. Sold out crowd because of what you went to do in Fayetteville and what you did. This is a bit of an opportunity that you've created for yourself. It ought to be a lot of fun Saturday afternoon in Lubbock, huh?
Well, I don't think there's any question about that, but I'll tell you this. I don't think what the Red Raiders have done to this point will be enough to win the game. I think they've got to get better, and I'll explain that. And it may be the long way around, but we'll get there. The Red Raiders at this point on the season are scoring about 60% of the time, and that's really, really good. But think about this game a year ago and think about the offense that the Red Raiders face. In Fort Worth a year ago, TCU had the ball 14 times in the game, and they scored 12 times. That's nearly 90% scoring. The Red Raiders had it 12 and scored 5 times. Now, earlier this week, Cliff talked about we can't turn the ball over. Tech lost it 4 times against TCU. The Frogs scored after 3 of those turnovers. The other turnover, they ran out the clock at the end of the game. Have to take advantage of every scoring opportunity that you have. A turnover takes away the chance for you, gives the ball back to TCU and gives them an opportunity. So I think the Red Raiders offensively can't turn the football over. Certainly, if it does happen, you got to get it back from the Frogs in some way, but you must take advantage of opportunity. Do not turn the football over.
Yeah, Keys to the Game is always brought to you by Winsor Orthodontics. You kind of go with an intangible there of taking advantage of opportunities, because the other thing is you can't drop the ball if it's just thrown right to you, and it would have been a touchdown. If you have a hold of Trevon Boykin in the backfield this time, you can't let him go. You got to bring him down, or because last year he gets away, he's going to make a big play.
Well, and this opportunity as well. Third possession of the game a year ago in Fort Worth, Red Raiders have the ball at the 1-yard line and fail to score. I mean, you lose the momentum there. Frogs turn around, get the ball, go and score. You have to take advantage of that kind of chance, particularly in this game. And I'd say this too, be there at the start. Think about last season's game. TCU kicks off to the Red Raiders, we go right down the field and score. We kick the ball back, they score. 2 touchdowns in the first 1 minute and 8 seconds of the game. There were 41 points in the first quarter. Don't be late.
And to me, I guess I lean on which one of these programs and teams can handle adversity better, on Saturday afternoon. Because Tech hasn't trailed at all this year. And TCU, I'm not certain that they have trailed actually in a game. You have to go back to the 13th season, because the one loss last year, it's a last-second field goal. So nobody's used to really playing from behind or being a couple of scores down. And for TCU, certainly on the road, I mean, it's just not unfamiliar territory. And in Texas Tech, I think, there's going to be some haymakers thrown in this one. And so somebody's going to land some blows, and how do you deal with it? Can you, if it's 21-10, can you come back? Can you get those stops? Can you make those plays to get back? For some reason, too, I really think that DeAndre Washington and Aaron Green, the running backs, for all the talk about QBs and the explosiveness and the offenses with the receivers and all this stuff, I tend to think the running backs are going to be key in this one. TCU's defensive line, a little beat up. They're thin, and these offensive lines are both very, very good, senior laden, all that stuff. Who wins those matchups up front and allows their back to kind of have their way could go a long way in deciding this one.
Well, and it's been well publicized. The Frogs on defense have a lot of injuries. They've got a lot of issues there. The Red Raiders are learning a new system under coordinator David Gibbs, and you're only 4 games into that learning experience. So because of all of that, you figure the offenses are going to have a lot of opportunity. And like you said, who can get up off the mat if you get knocked down? You like DeAndre Washington. He's made a lot of plays for this team over the year. And perhaps, I don't think he's any surprise, but Jakeem Grant, the way he has played this year, best of his career. You just look at a couple of guys there that have been around for a while who hope they have a big play in them if the Red Raiders need it.
Should be fun. Thanks, Mr. Harris.
You bet.
Yes, sir. Winsor Orthodontics is always responsible for these Keys to the Game. Thank you very much.